So I was just watching some content and I was like, oh my God, this is it. So I have a few girlfriends who've talked to me over the years about relating to guys and then having problems with their finances after the fact. And I remember, like, again, I wasn't really actively dating, so I didn't really have so much of a framework for it. But I just watched this video about the difference between men that are in sovereign energy versus men that are in joker energy, and how like it's the difference between sowing energetics and harvesting. So like she was talking about how like women are harvesters, like we used to actually go out and pick the berries. It's why we go into stores and we take a whole bunch of things that we want to like create something in our space with. And then she was talking about like the men that have like this confusion around feminine energy, which is great because I was also talking often about how there like a lot of people don't understand what divine masculinity looks like, and so there are a lot of men who want to be in more sacred energetics, and so then they mimic divine femininity. So that piece like made sense to me. And so what actually occurs is that they become harvesters, consciously or unconsciously. They're like actually harvesting energy from women. And that actually a lot of times that's their like unconscious programming, is they see a woman and they're like, I want to harvest her energy, you know, I want to be close to and gain power from my relationship with this woman. And so it was just so interesting. I just had to post content about it because I was like, this is like so many conversations that women have had with me. And like she was even talking about like in terms of like putting it into the framework of boundaries, like because I know that this is what I do now dating, where I'm like, oh, like, you know, I need them to make the date, like I need them to like maybe not come straight to me, but like pick me up, like I'm like, and she was like, this is the way that you make sure that they are gonna sow into you so that you can be clear that there are people who sow, and also how you can set energetics so that people are sowing into you and not just harvesting from you. But man, this video like blew my mind. I was like, I have absolutely had proximity to this joker energy where they are consciously or unconsciously, all they're doing is siphoning and harvesting from women's power just to try to feed their own because they're not in their sovereignty. And again, I just wanted to like add the clarification that like when men are in sovereign energy, they're empire building. So they're like built their palace, they've built like their kingdom, they've like actually cultivated something of value. They wouldn't be like out in the field picking berries, you know what I mean? Like that's not the energetic of a sovereign masculine. Like, and I thought that that was so on point. Like I was really thinking about standards of relating. So like I have a lot of new standards of relating after like going into it kind of fresh and just being like a student mind, like open to anything. And now I'm like, oh, purpose, like what are you doing with your life? Like what are you creating? What are you building? Like that I know that I actually have a lot of sovereign energy because I have a lot of purpose orientation and I'm building something and I have created something. Like I have my temple, I have my like vision for like the empire that I want to create. And like without even understanding this framework, even though I do have, obviously I think we all want to resonate with divine masculinity, like I just understood that like the energetics were off if people didn't also pour into purpose, like because it wasn't within sovereignty energy. It's like, what are you curating? What are you creating?